Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about having a Neptune and Scorpio in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Neptune placements in a natal chart, and they're a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing I'll do is Neptune is connected with inspiration. So having Neptune and Scorpio in a natal chart, people may be inspired to empower others to transform, whether it's themselves or other people, their lives. It could be where you have a lot of inspiration for power, control, in a situation, whether it's could be over your own home life, just your life in general, shared resources situation, whatever it might be. And also, there may be a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation for having those deep and intimate connections, for investigation, forensics, going beyond subterfuge of what's superficial, and also there may be certain inspiration for occult studies, which can include astrology. And another thing about Neptune is that it's associated with hidden adversaries. So having Neptune, Scorpio in your natal chart, hidden enemies may actually be Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are could be surreptitious, could be people that are very resourceful, incisive, probing, those that can go beyond the surface, go beyond subterfuge, superficiality, can be manipulative, jealous, and vindictive as well. It could be those that are in a Scorpio profession, whether it could be working as a surgeon, working in locksmithing, forensics, investigation, embalming, working as a coroner, doing something with taxes or insurance, as some examples. Now, another thing about this as well is that Neptune in astrology is associated with dreams and fantasies. So having Neptune and Scorpio in a natal chart, there may be a lot of fantasies regarding the sexual, things of a sexual nature more so than most people. Most people are going to have this anyway, regardless of astrological places, but it may figure more prominently in people that have this placement more so than the average person. And the dreams and fantasies may be having some shared resources situation, like a business connection or partnership, doing something with investigation, forensics, fighting corruption and crime. Being able, it could be something connected with the transformation of the self or through others, and whether it's a spiritual transformation or whatever it may be. It can be also doing something in a Scorpio, like profession, whether it's something with locksmithing or the occult, which includes astrology. And as I stated before, investigation, forensics as some examples, doing something with embalming, working as a coroner or surgeon as some other examples. Now, another thing too is that Neptune in astrology is connected with what's nebulous and unclear. And it could be where, the things that can be nebulous and unclear to a person that has this placement may be, their intimate connections. It could be matters associated with support. It may be, whether there may be some confusion as to whether the person's going to get support when needed, or, whether, somebody helping them because they have an ulterior motive, things of that nature. And support can be, moral, emotional, monetary support, and matters regarding secrets. And, this person may often be wondering, well, Does this person have some kind of secrets that they're hiding? Is there something, beyond the surface that needs to come out? And there may be a lot of suspicion in regards to that. And it's also something too, when you have this placement, it can be, something where, there might be some confusion as to, what to do in certain crisis situations. There may be some ambivalence and indecision and confusion associated with that. And also, if one needs to make a major change or transformation, there may be something that's very nebulous and unclear in regards to that. And the thing too is, it's also about if the person needs surgery, there may be some confusion. It might be very unclear, whether, what needs to be done, or just making decision regards to this. I have my Neptune and Scorpio, my natal chart, and I've been having some confusion and indecision over, certain surgery, possibly like on my lower back. So, I can understand how this can, play out, though it is generational. It's really, I would say it's more important to look at the house placement of this. And if you have Neptune in Scorpio, or the eighth, if you have it in the eighth house, it could be similar, but you got to blend the sign in as well. Now, another thing about this too is that matters associated with death may be nebulous or unclear, whether it's a prominent family member passing away or a close friend. Maybe there's some circumstances that you're not sure of, or the illness may be mysterious. And as far as the person passing away, matters connected with wills, inheritances, estates, those things as well may be somewhat unclear and nebulous. Now, Neptune is also about idealism, or what we may be idealistic about. Now, with Neptune and Scorpio in your natal chart, it could be matters pertaining to support, whether it's moral, emotional, or monetary support. The person may often feel that they're going to be able to get it when necessary, and be able to give it when it's needed. Now, the thing is too, and also in matters with intimate relationships, and people need to be careful with this placement, that they don't completely overlook the transgressions of a sexual or partner, or someone they're in an intimate or close relationship with. And it's also about matters with rebirth, regeneration, and being resilient, bouncing back from adversity. Those things of that nature is where a person may be very, idealistic regarding. And also solving crime as well, making a major change or transformation. In matters with loans, the person may feel very idealistic in this, and that they can pay that loan back, within X amount of time without any difficulties, even if their financial circumstance may say otherwise. Now, Neptune is also associated with what's dissolving and dissipation. And physically, there may be some dissolving or weakness or dissipation connected with the colon, the prostate, the bladder, the urinary tract, or reproductive system. There may be something, I don't know if I'm saying this right, something like colonic narcosis or something like that, necrosis. You may want to confer and look that up on the internet. Something a weakened bladder, things of that nature. And those are where you might have a person may be susceptible to some deterioration connected with that. Now, Neptune is also connected with deception and duplicity. So it could be where the person that has this placement, people that have this placement may, experience more deception than most in their intimate connections with a sexual partner. There may be certain susceptibility toward insurance fraud or credit card fraud. It may be matters with loans as well. And even matters pertaining to surgery, such as a surgeon, not performing what he or she said they were going to do, maybe not using the right amount of anesthesia, whatever it is that they do to knock the person out. when there's surgery. I don't know if that's anesthesia or what that is exactly. That may be, if you want to look that up. Matters, with coroners, people that perform, those whoever it is that performs, the analysis of a person's death. Coroner, I believe, is one example. And also, too, Neptune in astrology is associated with psychic receptivity. So there may be certain the psychic prowess and ability, if it's developed, may be very deep. It may be where one uses it in matters pertaining to death. Um, it can be where it might be matters with stalkers. The person may have a lot of intuition when somebody may be obsessed with him or her, is watching him or her, things of that nature. In matters with corruption and crime, the person may be able to detect more if there's criminal activity in their environment, even though if it looks superficially like there isn't any going on. And just basically, and in their intimate connections as well, which could actually help make up for, maybe can somehow counteract, a little modify somewhat the fact that this person may also be deceived in those intimate connections quicker than the average person. So those are some things to look at with this placement. This person may often feel like they're escaping obsessed people and stalkers as well. So it just, it's important to remember not to be overly guarded in those matters. But the reality could be is that this person, may be more susceptibility, to certain things of that of that nature, because Neptune can have a connection with obsession, and Scorpio is associated, I would say at least one sign that would be associated with stalkers. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.